this is Russ. Hey, did you miss me? Yeah, I haven't had a video in a while. Well, if you watched the Monday's video, then you saw some video. I mentioned on that Monday video that Monday's video will be turning into mostly a health type video where I talk about my journeys with diabetes and high blood pressure and anything else that comes along on Mondays. So it'll be other things besides that, but mainly about my health. So Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays will remain as e-bike videos, but I think there's always a little bit of overlap that's going to happen there. So you might notice there's no glasses on. Yeah, I mentioned on Monday that the diabetes seems to have affected my vision a little bit. It's kind of weird because, you know, you tend to think that your vision will be worse, but believe it or not, I'm actually seeing far distances better now without my glasses. But close-up stuff, not so good. Yeah, with or without glasses, I can't really read things very well. So yeah, I find now I've been running without my glasses because as I'm looking out and doing different things, you know, just looking around the room, I see better without the glasses. The glasses actually kind of make me feel a little more dizzy because it's actually the prescription's off now because of that, and that's due to diabetes. So have a little thing to show you here. Yeah, take a look at this thing. Yeah, this was given to me by my sister. She gave me this. She went to Mexico recently, and she saw this, so she said, I had to get it for you. Yeah, it's a skeleton guy with a bike. Well, there's two skeleton guys in here. And apparently in Mexico, they celebrate a thing called the Day of the Dead, which we all kind of thought sounds a little kind of strange. You know, they celebrate the dead, but I guess it's a celebration of their relatives and things who have passed on. So a lot of their stuff, I guess, have these little skeleton guys. So she saw the skeleton guy with the bicycle, and she had to get it for me. Wasn't that nice of her? I'll put a closer up thing so you can see it, but yeah, he's kind of cute. So thank you to her for the little, I don't know what you call this. Is this a diorama? What is this thing? There's a clear top, and then the front also is clear glass. So yeah, I like it. It's kind of cute. All right, let me put them off to the side here. All right, there we go. Put them down. So what are we talking about today? Well, and I am still sick, by the way. I still have the cold sore on the lip. I think that thing's going to be there for a while. It's kind of scabbed over, and you can't really pick it. Otherwise, it'll just start bleeding again. So I think the best thing is we'll have to deal with it until it naturally falls off. It could be a while, so get used to it. All right. So anyway, I was looking at what's been happening on e-bikes lately, what's been going on the e-bike front. And of course, I've been watching other YouTube channels who, you know, concentrate on e-bikes as well too. Since I hadn't made any of my own due to the sickness and everything, I'm still not 100% better, but good enough to at least make today's video. Yeah, I've noticed that there's been talk about some of the new bikes that have come out or are coming out from various companies. And we'd already said that, you know, there seems to be a tendency that there's a concentration on new entry-level bikes that are offering more for the money, but yet there are new type of bikes out there too. Now, the last video I was able to make was about Himiway, and that they had some new bikes being offered. And many of them said, well, these are almost like motorbikes. Yeah, kind of are, some of them. So the fear that people have is that going to push us into regulation down the road? I have that fear too. You know, if we push past the standard class 1, class 2, class 3 limits, are they going to regulate us even more? Yeah, it's a fear. I have that fear as well. So now that doesn't mean that that's going to stop people from making bikes like this, because there seems to be an interest in this type of bike. I don't know necessarily people in my demographic are that much interested in that, but I know the younger folks are. Yeah, I mean, if you could push the limit on anything, and you know, oh, it goes faster, or you know, it goes from 0 to whatever speed it would be in X amount of seconds, that takes an interest from the younger group, right? I mean, in my age group, maybe not so much so. I mean, some of you guys are, I know. I know some of you guys want to go as fast as you can go, but for the most part, most of us in the older age groups are more concerned with being safe and not doing that. And the minute you hear about possible regulations happening because of, you know, bikes like this that might be pushing the envelope, you know, The older generations, in my opinion, okay, would push back a little bit against that. I think we'd rather be a little more conservative to make sure that we don't be regulated, right? So anyway, I think that would be bad for the e-bike industry if they start more regulations or the like. Now, I am one that says that maybe the class regulations need to be relaxed a little bit. I'd rather see speed limit put down rather than class limit put down. You know, like we were saying that certain areas does not allow e-bikes at all. Others will say you can use an e-bike, but it has to be class 1. This would be like the national parks have basically said you can bring a class 1 bike, but you can't bring anything other than a class 1 bike. I mean, what if you owned a class 2 bike, but you were willing to ride it at, say, 15 miles an hour or whatever their limitation happens to be, 20 miles an hour, whatever, and just don't use the throttle, okay? But I think in this case, they don't want to see the throttle even on your bike so that they know that you can't use it. It has to be disconnected somehow, okay? That kind of makes it tough, right? Now, there are areas I feel that, you know, they should just allow us to use the e-bike, and sometimes they don't. One place that I recall is, I think it's called the Loop in Arizona. You guys out in Arizona can fill me in on this, but I remember reading something about, you know, the Loop is something like 150 miles of bike path, right? But you can't use an e-bike. You could only use it if you have a physical handicap and some type of proof that you have that problem. Now, for me, I could probably get away with it because I could just bring my handicap placard or whatever, kind of prove, well, I do have a handicap. I need to have my bike, okay? Because I can't physically pedal it the entire time. But what about everybody else? Okay, they can't use their e-bike? I mean, you got 150 miles of path and you can't use it on that path because it's an e-bike? I think certain places like that need to lax up a little bit. They need to just relax that issue, right? Here's what I think they should really do instead of putting a class of bike or whatever. Just put a speed limit on it, right? If they said, okay, you cannot go past 15 miles an hour. If you go past 15 miles an hour, you're going to get ticketed. Okay, I could live with that. Some people can't. They don't even want that. But I'd rather be able to say that than say you can't come on my bike path at all. You see what I'm saying? And then maybe even some basic paths, like recently and several videos ago, I had somebody who yelled out at me that the bikes were illegal. No, they're not. They're not illegal. We're perfectly allowed to be on that path, okay? But the public doesn't know that. All they know is that this is an illegal bike. It shouldn't be on here. No, I think there's more education in that sense that needs to be said, that, you know, people can take their bikes on there. But, you know, if you're going to speed limit us, which they do on that path, I think it's either 12 or 15, something like that, go ahead and do the speed limit, but don't eliminate us totally. Now, if you have bikes like the most recent, like we mentioned about Himiway's got these new bikes that kind of look like motorbikes coming in, is that going to force more regulation? And I think it might. That's my fear. Put down in the comments below what you think. You think I'm right? Russ is always right. I told you guys that. But tell me what you think. Okay, tell me what you think. Do you think it's going to force more regulation? You know, how do you feel about that? Some people mention things like, you know, we're gonna need a license. I don't know if it'll ever get to that point where you get that far, or you're gonna need insurance. I don't even think it'll get to that point. I think the problem really is class regulation on certain bike paths. I think it really needs to be speed regulation. If you're going to regulate us at all, speed regulation, not by the class of bike. I mean, really, if you think about it, class 3 bike, what? It's motor assisted up to 20 miles per hour, but if you continue to pedal harder, the motor will help you up to 28 miles an hour, but you have to pedal it to get it to 28, okay? So class 2 is motor assisted or assisted through throttle or pedaling to get to 20 miles per hour. It won't go past 20. I mean, you could go past 20, but the motor won't help you anything past 20, right? How is that any different than a class 3 bike, if you think about it? I mean, if you put a regulation of speed, let's say you said this path is 15 miles per hour limited, okay? What difference does it make whether it's a regular bike, a class 1, class 2, or class 3? If you limit yourself to 15 miles an hour, who cares what it is? If you're not going past 15 miles an hour, it's as safe as any other bike at 15 miles per hour, right? That's how I feel. So put down whether you agree with that or you don't, all right? Now, if you disagree with any regulation, that's one thing. But let's say you're going to be forced to be regulated. All right, let's put that as the baseline. It's going to be regulated. Do you prefer to have the 15 mile an hour regulation, or do you say no e-bikes at all? Because that's where some of them are headed. No e-bikes at all. Put that down. Let me know. So that's basically all I wanted to say today, is that, you know, as I'm seeing these new bikes coming, being offered, I keep thinking more and more about regulation. You know, how is this going to affect us on the long run? It's not going to look good. I'll tell you that right now. It's not going to look good if, hey, our bike can do 45 miles an hour. That's not going to look good when people are, you know, already against e-bikes for certain reasons and the like. So anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully I can continue making e-bike videos. Hopefully I don't get sicker. Now, sickness is getting better, but it's still there. So anyway, watch on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays for e-bike related topics. Mondays for health related topics, okay? Watch again this coming Monday, because we'll be talking more about what's been happening since I've been taking more of the medications. Talk to you guys next time.